Hi there, I am Christiana Ellis, and this is 5 More Minutes. It is currently 7:10 a.m. on Sunday, the 18th of January, 2015. I am more out of it than usual, I think. Last night was spent at Aricia convention, and there were dark and stormies consumed. Um, I'm not hungover especially, but I am just still tired. Probably going to go back to bed for another hour and a half or so of sleep after I finish this. It was a real toss-up whether I was going to do this first or go ahead and do that. But little dog behind me here had to go outside, so I figured I'd go ahead and do this while I was up too. Anyway, Aricia was fun. I'm going back today once I get a little bit more sleep. This con is one that I'm less familiar with. I've only been there once before, so I don't have a whole community of people that I already know there, like Balticon, say, or DragonCon. But I met up with a couple of people, and met some new people, and so that's good. In particular, a friend named JP Tuttle that I met at the same con Aricia 2 years ago. We hung out some and told me about a movie I'm going to have to check out called The Trip with Steve Coogan. I really enjoyed him in the movie Philomena last year, and I know he does Alan Partridge, but so I hadn't heard about this particular movie, and he showed me a clip. It was really funny. And then I also met up with Angie Shearstone, who I knew when I was down in North Carolina. I met her through Murray Lafferty, and we were friends that went to a regular game night. But then I moved to Boston, and then she moved to Connecticut, and although we still occasionally tweeted back and forth, we hadn't really seen each other since then, and so I knew that she was coming up to Aricia, and so it was like, awesome, hey, let's go hang out. And we did, and it was awesome. She has a cool project called Blood Dreams, where she made her own comics. She has 2 issues that are available on the Comixology web store, and I recommend them. She basically did it all herself. She did all the art, she wrote it, all that stuff. It's really cool. And then she, of course, also promised to hook me up with all sorts of Cambridge, Boston nerdy people. So that'll be nice too. Just always making new connections, right? Like that's how you build up that social network that I was mentioning earlier. And I went to a couple of panels. One was about avoiding culture fail, which the idea generally there is that if you're going to write a culture different than your own in a book or something, how do you avoid making it like an overly simplistic stereotype or getting certain details wrong so that it rings false and takes people out of the story? Or when a little dog squeaks a chew toy under your desk while you're trying to record a video. They really covered that in the panel, believe it or not. I know, it's surprising. The other panel that I went to was called The Internet Hate Train Moving Past Gamergate. And I was particularly interested to go to that, partly just because the whole Gamergate fiasco over the last couple of months has been something that I probably devoted an unhealthy amount of my mental energy to. Not even in participating like actively saying a lot about it, but just watching the whole thing with dismay from afar. In any case, some of the people on the panel were some of the people who had really actually been directly involved in that. They were targeted by some of the awful stuff in Gamergate. And it was a really powerful panel, and what it talked about is that, even though if you're outside of the whole mess, you might not be hearing as much about Gamergate like as you were a couple months ago, but it's important to remember that the people who were so extreme that made all of that so awful, like, I mean, those people are still around and they didn't change their mind. And so it's not over in the conventional sense. Any case, I'm at my 5 minutes and I do need a little bit more sleep before I head back over to Aricia. So, as always, my website is christianaellis.com. You can find all the stuff I do there. I am at Christiana Ellis on Twitter, and I will see you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.